Hey, aloha. My name's DJ Valerie B. Love. I am a podcaster and a DJ, and I'm on a mission to spread love all around the world and make the world as loving and fully realized as possible. And I believe Bitcoin is one of the most important tools on the planet to make that happen. I got involved in Bitcoin several years ago, and I was really interested in the NFT stuff for artists and musicians and started understanding what the difference was between Bitcoin and crypto. And when I started really understanding that Bitcoin is a tool for freedom, for inclusion, and so that anybody can use it, it's borderless, it's permissionless. And I was like, oh, well, that sounds really cool. So I don't have enough bandwidth to learn everything. So I'm like, why don't I just focus on this? Because if this can help people escape authoritarian regimes, if this can help people send money home without exorbitant fees going to the middleman, I want to learn about this. Because what I know for myself is I was somebody who became financially dependent on my husband years ago, and I put my trust in him, and our relationship didn't end up working out, and it put me in a position of disempowerment. And I never want to let that happen again to myself or other people, because when you are not in a place of financial sovereignty, you don't think the same way, you don't make the same types of decisions, and it can lead to mental health, physical health, issues. It can hurt your relationships. And so having a feeling and power around your own financial sovereignty, I learned, is ultra important in order for you to have a holistically balanced and joyful and full, healthy life. And so, I'm somebody who's obviously, I'm into meditation and DJing and music and art. And how do we use all of these other tools so that we can become these love warriors and go get rocking and rolling with our missions? And I never really understood why money is so important. I used to push it away and be like, oh, money's evil, blah, blah, blah. And that was an old story that I told myself because that's what society told me. And so I thought that, if you have money, that's bad, and people, all that kind of thing. And then I started recognizing, wow, when you don't have things, you can fall apart and not behave in the same way that you would if you were stable. And so I really recognize, like, as much as, we want to teach everybody, kumbaya and all the nice things, if they don't have financial security and freedom and flexibility, all this stuff up here doesn't matter. This is very, very foundational and ultra important for women and men everywhere around the world. So that was really, really important to me. So when I started learning through Alex Gladstein and the Human Rights Foundation about how Bitcoin is helping people, escape these authoritarian regimes and how it's being used for activists in a safe way, I knew that I had to learn more. And so that was really exciting. And so I got to go to the Oslo Freedom Forum in Miami during COVID, and that changed my life forever because I really recognized, wow, this is something that can actually change the world of people in developing countries and people who want to escape. And so that sold me. I knew I have to dedicate the rest of my life to learning about this and talking about it, in addition to what I already do, which is how do we fortify our insides so that we can be strong on the outsides, right? And your other question, have you participated in Bitcoin related projects? Yes, a couple of things. So I got to MC at Adopting Bitcoin down in El Salvador. And so that was really exciting for me. I'd never been to El Salvador. El Salvador is huge. Obviously, they've, President Bukele made a Bitcoin legal tender. And so he wants to have an inclusive system where everybody can participate, where we're not getting, told who and what we're allowed to transact and spend our money. So I really, really appreciate his bravery and boldness in, doing what he did. Another thing that I got to participate in just this last Bitcoin conference in Miami was the Women in Bitcoin brunch with Natalie Brunell and Callie Bailey, who are two of my heroes and mentors in the space. And so Marcel, who's amazing, love you, is rocking it with BTC Data. And so we got to share some of the quotes and messages from all of you wonderful women. And it's really, really important that, Bitcoin is made for everybody. By nature, it's inclusive. So it's not about, you know, it's just for these people. It's for everybody. And that's what's really special about it versus, the fiat system where you have to, ask permission and be told that you have to use this type of currency, et cetera. So I think by nature, it's meant for everybody. And that's really exciting and empowering and hopeful for me as a woman and as a mother, thinking about, wow, this is something that my kids are going to have access to, and hopefully their kids, and so on and so on. And so I was a businesswoman for years and never really knew what money was. And I never really understood what's hard money, what's fiat. And I just was like, okay, cool. We've got the dollar. Great. Let's go. I'm going to go do my business. And it wasn't until Bitcoin that I really started understanding what is money. And so there's so many mentors and beautiful people in the space that donate their time graciously to educate. And this is the most powerful and intelligent and heart-centered community that I've ever been a part of in my whole life. And I'm so honored to get to learn alongside of everybody and be humbled by all of the generosity of spirit that people have, because this isn't about number go up. This is about freedom go up. This is about love go up. This is about hope go up. This is about human potential go up. This is about Mother Nature go up. And so Bitcoin is a tool for the future and for realizing the dream that I think we all have in our hearts, which is a safe, happy, healthy, inclusive planet for everyone. Everyone deserves that. Everyone, everywhere, every day needs love and deserves love. And I believe that Bitcoin is a tool to bridge that. And a lot of people are like, how can that happen? Well, because it is. It's giving us an opportunity to participate in the financial system. And that's what I think is so cool about the future. And some cautionary tales. What I would say is do your own research, do your own research, do your own research, and then do some more, and be skeptical. Constantly try to poke holes in things and try to find out what's wrong. Whether it's what's wrong with Bitcoin, what's wrong with crypto, what's wrong with fiat, what's wrong with any system that we're in. Don't take anything at face value, because you always have to know where's the incentive and who's funding things. And so I've learned that the hard way. And it's very, very important that we don't just hand it over and just, trust other people, trust anything. And so that's why I love Bitcoin, because it's math. It's just code, and not one person can sit in a room and control it and manipulate it. And so that's exciting to me. And I'm still, to this day, I will always try to poke holes in it and everything, because I want to be protected and safe. So I would suggest, that's what I do. Is I'm a hole poker. Even though I'm an eternal optimist, I'm also a skeptic because of my history and getting burned. How do I balance my involvement with Bitcoin and other aspects of my life and career? Well, Bitcoin is my life and career, and freedom is my life and career, and love is my life and career. And Bitcoin is a tool, and all of the other things that I do, whether it's music, bringing people together, creating immersive experiences, etc. They're all ways to bring us together so that we can ignite and realize and awaken this potential that we all have as unique individuals. And it is so important that we tap into that special purpose inside of our hearts. And, whatever you believe in, whether you call it God, spirit, universe, whatever it is, but really embracing that we have a magical life that is in a blink of an eye. And we're only here for a moment on planet Earth, really. And what are we going to do with that blink of an eye here? And so I believe Bitcoin gives us an opportunity to realize our full potential when we can have mass adoption and hyper Bitcoinization, which is what we're all on the mission for here. And that's really exciting to me. I'm an inclusive kind of person. I always want to, make sure everybody's welcome and there's no fear of missing out for anybody. And I want everybody invited to the party, whatever the party is. Like, let's all come together and enjoy and celebrate each other's differences and celebrate all of our unique skills and talents and abilities, to make this tapestry called humanity. It's magic. I'm so like, yeah, let's do that. And so Bitcoin, I believe, gives us that chance. Have I faced skepticism or doubts from friends and family? Most everybody in my like normie life thinks that I'm insane still. They're starting to kind of get it finally because BlackRock and the other big institutions are coming online and trying to get their ETFs and stuff. So they're like, oh, well, maybe you're not so crazy, but they're still, they think I'm a weirdo, which I am. And I, wear my weirdo flag proudly. But I think it's okay. They can think what they want. I'm not responsible for what their opinion is of me. I just know that for me, Bitcoin is truth. Bitcoin represents freedom and it represents hope. So I'm on the mission all the way. How do I stay updated? So I'm on Twitter a lot, and I lurk more than I post. I do post a lot, but and I get to interview awesome people and talk to them about Bitcoin. I obviously listen to tons and tons and tons of podcasts, and I've read lots and lots of books. And it's so important to listen from different vantage points, and figuring out who you like to listen to, and again, keep reading, keep trying to poke those holes. But it's a giant fire hose of information that's constantly changing 24/7. And so I love Cafe Bitcoin on every morning, out of the weekday mornings. So that's a really great spot. I also love, Natalie Brunell. I love Peter McCormick. I love Robert Breedlove. I love Saifedean. I love Stefan Livera, Matt Odell, all these folks. I mean, it's countless people, Jeff Booth. Who are my mentors? I have so many mentors. I can't even begin to say how many mentors. We've got Alex up here, Check Your Financial Privilege, Gigi 21 Lessons, Knut with Everything Divided by 21 Million. There's Tomer over there. Bitcoin Times is Alex Svetsky. So many wonderful people. And we've got, Marcel, we've got Samantha DeWall, who is a teenager who I totally look up to. She's a genius. Charlene Federipo, Nat Brunell, Callie Bailey, Corey Clipston from Swan. Of course, I said Gigi. Will, who created Nostr. You guys, if you're not on Nostr, get on Nostr immediately, because it is censorship resistance. It's decentralized. It's run by relays. So if the centralized social media powers start, shutting it down or censoring us, at least we have this other backup, like this plan B, like we have plan Bitcoin and we have plan Nostr. So Nostr is incredible. NOSTR, please get on it ASAP. Carla and Walker are great. Caitlin Long, Amanda Cavallari, Lisa Ho, Kristen Thompson, Crypto Mags, Mary Amusin, Nork, and Tomer Strolite. There's so many people. It's just great. Larry Lepard, Greg Foss, all these guys are my homies. And you guys got to just keep finding and listening and find all the people that resonate with you and who you like, and be the voice. The reason I started my podcast, it's called Bitcoin, Peace, and Music. And I think I'm going to be changing the title to Love Power, because it's pretty narrow, and my target audience is a lot more of the artists and the healers, the activists, these change makers, these mission-driven people, and they're very, very misguided about Bitcoin. They're very, very scared. They've heard some negative news, some FUD, and then as soon as they hear the word Bitcoin in my podcast, they're like, "That's horrible. I'm never listening." So I'm reframing how I'm going to approach my role as a Bitcoin advocate, and rather than clobbering people over the head, I think it's going to be easier to kind of be sly and roundabout and talk about love, talk about peace, talk about hope, talk about meditation in your daily practice and the things that I, teach and guide people with. I think it's going to be more helpful for that particular audience and help them understand that money's not bad and Bitcoin is a solution for a lot of the world's problems, So stay tuned for Love Power. And I just really feel like be brave enough to go ask lots of questions. And that's all you got to do is just keep asking, never give up. And there's no stupid questions, and that's why I did start the podcast, because I wanted to learn more. And I knew twofold that I could get messages out there to people who are curious like myself, who aren't multimillionaires, financial analysts, big, business people. I knew that like there's an audience that wants to hear this from a different lens. And so sharing the news, sharing Bitcoin with them, but then also just like, I want to learn and I want to connect people and I want to hear about projects and I want to promote different people who are doing wonderful things in the world with Bitcoin and with freedom. And so use your voice, stand up. And I remember, Camilla Campton, God bless her, from Swan Bitcoin. I was so nervous to start the podcast. She's like, just do it. And I'm like, well, but I'm not ready. And I don't know. And what if I ask the wrong question? And who am I to start a podcast? And who am I? And blah, 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 all the imposter syndrome stuff. And she's like, just start, and you'll be fine. And I was so grateful that she pushed me and nudged me. And so God, thank you so much, Camilla, and your beautiful new baby. So she's one of my heroes also in the women of Bitcoin. And so I really, and Lynn Alden, of course, oh my gosh, study Lynn Alden. Holy cow. That woman her brain is as big as the universe. And Natalie Smolinski. Oh goodness. She's a genius too. Find who you resonate with, talk to them, reach out to them, say, hey, say, thank you, see what you can do to connect. And people are so cool to connect. So those are my mentors. And of course, everybody who's teaching and sharing their information is adding to the equation of hyper Bitcoinization, which means hyper freedom and hyper love. That's what we want, right? So what impact do I believe Bitcoin is going to have on financial inclusivity and gender equality? I believe it is designed for that. I believe it's designed for the ultimate inclusive financial system. Everybody's welcome, even our enemies. And so that's what's so cool about it. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care what color your skin is. It doesn't care if you believe in God or don't believe in God. It doesn't care if you vote for anybody. It doesn't care what your, sex is. It doesn't care. Bitcoin just keeps doing every 10 minutes. TikTok, next block. TikTok, next block. Oh my God, it's so cool. So I think it's designed exactly for inclusivity. And I believe that when women, we get a little nervous sometimes, right? And speaking up in a room of people who know a whole bunch more than us. And a lot of times it's men who know more about money because they spend time on that stuff. And we spend time on the stuff that we spend time on, which is totally fine. Sometimes we shrink a little bit and sometimes we don't use our voice and sometimes we're afraid, and what I would say to anybody who's listening to this, it's okay. You can be afraid. Do it anyway. Speak up, ask the questions, dig deeper, it's okay. Use that gorgeous, beautiful voice that you're given. Okay. And if you guys ever want to chat, reach out to me. You can find me all over the social. It's DJ Valerie Be Love, and say hello in my DMs. They're always open. And we're all here to support each other, because when you win, I win. And when I win, she wins. And when she wins, she wins. And she wins. And they win. And he wins. And we win. And the world wins. And so it is, I think, the coolest win-win, game theory experiment that we've had on planet Earth. So let's rock and roll. And thanks again, Marcel, for inviting me to be on your beautiful show. And God bless you all for what you're doing, and keep rocking. I can't wait to meet you all in person, hopefully, and give some hugs wherever we are around the world. And let's keep doing this. So may you be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.
Proudly brought to you by Bitcoin Dada.